I'm Shane from Quick Attach. Today we're out in the woods here testing our new log splitters. On my right, I have the 36-inch model with a 4.5-inch diameter cylinder. It has a tonnage of about 32 tons and weighs 760 pounds. It's in a inverted configuration, so you can see the skid steer is on the far end, and it gives good visibility, and it's easy to move the logs around when you're in the work area. On my left, you'll see we have our 24-inch model here. It has a 4-inch diameter cylinder with a tonnage of about 25 tons, and it weighs approximately 650 pounds depending on the mounting plate configuration. Because of our unique clamping system here for our modular mounting system, you can actually slide the mounting plate left or right on the beam, and that'll give you the ability to push the frame to the far left or the far right, and it gives you better reach and better visibility of the work area. So we have our 36-inch model here mounted on the end in the inverted configuration. So the beam is in a longitudinal orientation with the skid steer loader. So this will give you the maximum reach. And we only recommend this for the larger skid steer loaders because you need a lot of lift capacity to be able to handle this mass out on the end. But you can easily unbolt the mounting plate and change the configuration as needed. So you can take that mounting plate, bolt it to this beam, either centered or off to the right or to the left, and have that ability to work with it in a lateral configuration as well. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the wedge configuration. The way we have this set up is we have the splitting wedge on the end, and the cylinder is pushing the push block here. And this particular configuration gives you the ability to stack logs a little bit higher because you're pushing the log as it splits off the end of the frame. We have a very unique and innovative design for our wedge system. What we have here is a stack of laser cut plates that's zinc plated, and you'll notice that we have different lengths here, so it gives a serrated edge. And the reason that's important again is because it's going to bite, it's going to hold those logs that are being split here. The cross wedge also has notches cut out of it, so it has a serrated edge. And the bevel is cut down, so you're not going to get as much binding on the top side when you have the bevel to cut down. So the 4-way wedge is made up of 1-inch plate steel, and it's about 20 inches wide. And the total height of the stack here from the beam down to the bottom is over 12 inches. So you can fit a really large log in here if you want to. So one of the cool things you can do with this stack is actually customize it to match what you're splitting. You can change the stack here, move this cross wedge up and down in the stack to match the diameter of the logs you're splitting. Extra wedge sections are conveniently mounted to the top of the frame, so they're always with you whenever you need them. Pretty cool feature we have on the top here that's not really obvious is the kick-out wedge. This is going to help prevent logs that are split on the top part from wedging or sticking between the cross wedge and the frame. So I want to talk about the design of our main frame. What we're using here is 3/8 inch grade 50 steel, and we have 2 vertical webs and a top and bottom plate. The total depth of the beam is almost 9 inches, and the width is 8 inches. And when these are all welded together, what you get is a boxed cross section. And the reason we're using a boxed cross section is because not only is it strong in bending like a typical I-beam is, but it's also much, much stronger in the torsional directions where an I-beam is not as stiff. So where that comes into play is if you're splitting wood that maybe gets off center or is twisted grain or is otherwise non-consistent, you can actually start twisting the frame by getting that load off center. So there's 2 big side effects of having a frame that isn't strong in torsion. One is that your pushing block can actually bind on the frame, and when that happens, you're going to have a lot higher frictions. But also, if you have excessive twisting, you're going to see cracks develop in the welds all along your frame. So I want to show you some of the details just in the end of the frame here that help make this the strongest frame we've ever built for a log splitter. First of all, you'll notice that the end cap ties both the vertical webbing and the top webs together, and there's also a 1-inch thick plate that goes completely from the top down to the bottom and acts as the backbone for the stack. So this is the portion here. It's a T cross section that holds all the stacked wedges on, and the top of it is actually cut out so you can use it for a chain tie down on your trailer. Okay, so one of the keys to our modular mounting system is having a system that can be both mounted to the rear or to the top of the beam. In order to do that, we had to make the mounting plate and the mounting portions extremely strong. You'll notice here that we start off with a backbone that runs down the middle. It's a 1-inch plate that runs top to bottom and includes the lower pin for the cylinder. That's bolted here to the mounting plate with 2 1-inch bolts. We also have stabilizing braces off to the side here that clamps onto the cross plate of the rear of the frame. So the clamps on the side is what's going to give you maximum stability for side loading of the beam. These same clamps are the ones that are used to clamp to the top flange of the beam when it's mounted in the lateral configuration. I hope you've enjoyed this video introducing our new log splitter. Check back often as we make more videos just like this. And as always, give us a call or check out our website if you have any questions.